Next topic is Islamic architecture. The advent of the Turks, Afghans, and Mughals in India lead to the evolution of a distinct Indo-Islamic style of architecture. So, with the uh, entrance of Turkish, Afghan, and Mughal in India, it lead to an uh, evolution. That means discovery of Indian plus Islamic style of architecture in India. Certain distinct architectural features of these style were the dome, true arch, minarets, mosaic, floral and geometric motifs and calligraphy which blended well with the Indian architectural forms already in use. So, what are the different types of features which were included in the Indian architecture? It was the dome like structure, that means dome like structure, true arch, that means all the different types of monuments they are in the form of arch. Minarets means just like in Taj Mahal you have minarets, that is the pillars. Okay. Mosaic, floral, that means flower design, and geometric motifs, that means they are designed in a geometric form. And calligraphy in the sense in the walls they used to write the Islamic verses or Islamic uh, you can say different types of rules and regulation in the wall. So with the help of these features, okay, it which came from the Turkish, Afghan and Mughal, it mixed with the Indian architectural form of monuments. These features were of Central Asian origin. So these features were from the Central Asian origin. They were employed by the rulers of Delhi Sultanate where they converted temples and existing buildings into mosques. So the Turkish, Afghan and Mughal, they tried to the employ the people. Employ means to use the people, that is Indian people, by the rulers of Delhi Sultanate where they converted different temples and buildings into mosque, that is masjid. As a result, a fusion style developed which greatly enriched Indian architecture. So as the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, they try to convert different temples and mosque in temples and buildings into mosque. Thus there was a fusion style developed, that means the fusion style in the sense Indian style plus Turkish, Afghan and Mughal style, and thus it plays an important role in the Indian architecture. A significant aspect of monuments of this period was the use of stone of different colors such as red sandstone, yellow sandstone and marble. So an important aspect during the Delhi Sultanate was that the rulers of the Delhi Sultanate, they have used the different types of stones in order to make different monuments, just like red sandstone, yellow sandstone and the marble. Geometric and floral pattern including motifs such as lotus, bell and the swastika were beautifully carved on the walls. So geometric and floral patterns, that is the use of lotus symbol, bell symbol, or you can say the swastika, it plays an important role in the fusion of Indian architecture and the Turkish, Afghan and Mughal architecture. And these all you can say geometric and floral patterns were beautifully carved, that means drawn in the walls of these monuments. These were often combined with panel of inscription which consisted of verses from the Quran. So even in the walls, not only these symbols were made, but also different types of verses from Quran were also written. The combination of these decorative devices came to be known as arabesque. So the combination of these decorative, that means the combination of verses from Quran, the you can say crafting of lotus, bell and swastika, it is known as the arabesque. However, human and animals figures were not used since they were considered un-Islamic. So, in the Islamic region, humans and animal figures were considered un-Islamic. That's why in the you can say Delhi Sultanate period, okay, the whatever the monuments which were built during the Delhi Sultanate, there is no human and animals figure. The use of lime as mortar was a major element distinct from the traditional building style. So the use of lime means chuna in Hindi. It is used as a major element so that they can coat the wall, okay, and it plays an important role in building the traditional building style. Stone was the most preferred building material, so the stone was used more in order to build the building. Red sandstone was widely used by the architect of Slave and Khalji dynasties. So the red sandstone were used by the architecture of the Slave and Khilji dynasty. So every dynasty they used to give preference to certain different stone. Okay. In addition, Mughal architect used plenty of white marble. So the Mughal rulers they used the white marble. So one of the greatest example is the Taj Mahal. Glazed tiles were also widely used in the decoration of building surface. So even the different types of tiles were also used in order to decorate the building's surface. That means the floor of the buildings were decorated by the glazed tiles. In order to make a wide entrance, the true arch or the pointed arch were used, built by placing a horizontal beam across two upright pillar. So in order to make a wide entrance, that means wide, that means very large entrance, a true arch, that means a true arch were used in order to, so that they can make the entrance wide, okay, and the arch were supported by two upright pillars, that means they were supported by two upright pillars. So in the both the end there was pillars. So this is the structure of the monuments which were made during the Delhi Sultanate, Mughal period, or you can say by the Turkish, Afghan and Mughals. The machine required a keystone and other stones on both sides so that they stay together by the force of pressure. So the uh, the stone and the other stone, that means the expensive stone and the other non-expensive stones, they were used on both the sides so that they are stay together by the pressure. The stones were balanced on both sides with the aid of keystone. So the stones were used as a balanced in order to secure the wall from both the side. The Alai Darwaza in the Qutub complex in Delhi is one of the finest example in the country of building in which the true arch was used. So the Alai Darwaza, which is in the Qutub complex in Delhi, it is one of the best or finest example to show the true arch, where the true arch were used. It is also unique for it has dome built on correct scientific line. So even it has made a you can say dome like structure, and it is very unique features during the uh, Mughal period. So as you can see in this picture, Alai Darwaza in the Qutub complex in Delhi. So this is the arch structure and this is the dome like structure, okay, and in the walls different types of you can see patterns are made, and inside the monuments in the walls the lotus, okay, you can see the bells and swastika, and even the verses of Quran are also crafted in the walls. A dome is an architectural structure that has a round roof with a circular base. So what is a dome? A dome is a architectural structure that has a round roof, okay, with a circular base. That means this dome is in the circular form. The use of the arch and dome not only added beauty to the structure but also had a number of other advantage. So the dome or you can say the arch, it not only add the beauty to the structure, that is the building, but it also have other advantages also. The dome made a structure look tall and grand. So why the dome was used? So that the buildings or the monuments will look tall and grand. Large open halls could be constructed using the arch and dome. So if arch and dome is used, large open halls can be constructed, which did away with the need to support the roof with a large number of pillars. So how they used to support the arch and dome? With the help of large number of pillars. The use of minarets was another features of the architecture of these periods. So the use of minarets, that means the pillars, it plays an important role during this period. A tall and lean tower based on a system of superimposed stories of decreasing size is known as minaret. So what does the term minaret means? For example, um, minarets is like a pillar structure, okay, and and it is in the decreasing form. That means like this. This is called minaret. Okay, beside providing a visual focal point, minarets also serve the purpose of natural ventilation. So why the minarets were used? So that it plays an important role as a natural ventilation.